Good morning, friends. I'm getting used to this new setup here in Facebook, so I'm looking to see where everything is. All right, I wanted to come on and share a reflection and a little message with you. So, first, I just want to ask you to think of a situation where you worry about what others might be thinking of you. So many of us experience this. This is a big one for me. Really caring about how others see me, caring about others' experience of me. And sometimes that takes me outside of what's really mine to control, what's really my responsibility. So I just want to pose this reflection for us all to consider here and to dialogue about. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. So, what kind of situations does this happen to you in? Maybe in some places in our lives, we're more susceptible to being worried about what someone else thinks of us. Maybe in some situations, we're less concerned about that and we feel clearer within ourselves. Something to notice in these situations where we are really concerned about what someone else thinks of us is first, we don't get to control what others think. We are never in their minds. We never, as much as we can play a part that might influence them one way or the other, we do not control what others think of us. I love a saying that I hear often and that I repeat to myself often: what others think of me is none of my business. That's not our business, what others think of us. What is more helpful, and the reminder I want to share with all of us today, is that I am responsible for what I think of me. What I think of myself is what matters more. Am I living up to my values? Am I operating in a way that really aligns with how I want to show up in the world? That's what I have control over. That's what I can do something about. That's the metric I want to measure and I want to live my life by. Because what I know is when when I have put myself in someone else's yard, remember we talk about the three kinds of yard, the three kinds of business. Just a quick summary for anyone who hasn't heard this before. I've got my yard, what's mine, my thoughts, my feelings, my actions, my words. Those are the things that live in my yard. That's my domain. That's what I'm responsible for. Your yard is your thoughts, your words, your actions, your feelings. I can care about you. I can care about you deeply, but I can only do it from my yard, because if I come over into your yard and I'm worried about what you're thinking about me, what you're feeling, what you're doing, what you're saying, that means I have abandoned my yard. I've abandoned myself. I've abandoned my responsibilities. I'm not taking care of me. I'm not taking care of what I need to be taken care of, because I am over there trying to take care of what you should be taking care of, what's yours to take care of. So, when I come back to my yard and remember, I am responsible for what I think of me. What do I think of me? And a trick to this, something else to remember here, is that thoughts, we're talking about what I think of me, those are thoughts. Those are like clouds that pass through our mind, right? We're not even really in control of our thoughts. Thoughts come and go. They're projections of the mind and the brain. What I am more responsible, if we want to get really nuanced here with our language, I'm responsible for those thoughts that I attach to, those thoughts that I believe. I love the sign for believe, because it's think, marry. It's a thought that I marry, that I attach to, that I believe, that I want to bring into my world and operate from. So I get to choose what thoughts I attach to, what I believe. What do I believe about myself? That's mine to manage. That's mine to take care of. So, just this reminder for all of us today, as you're moving through this week, as you're moving through this weekend, or even just this moment, pay attention to What are the thoughts in your mind? Where are you worried about what someone else is thinking of you? And a gentle question to come back to our own yards. What am I responsible for in this moment? What do I think of me? What am I thinking of me right now? And a quick plug for mindful awareness here that this is a mindfulness practice. This is just noticing where our thoughts go and gently bringing us back to our center. That's all it is. That's what meditation can be. That's what any kind of mindfulness practice can be. Is paying attention on purpose to the present moment without judgment. And sometimes our judgments of ourselves is what we'll really notice here. That when we come back to the present moment and I pay attention to what my thoughts are, I notice, ooh, there's a lot of judgment against myself right there. Can I let that be here too? Can I come back to a place of love for myself, even with my human brain that wants to judge? That's what our brains do. Okay. Take care, my loves. Please add in the comments your thoughts on this. Where does this show up for you? What is challenging about this for you? What have you found helps you come back to responsibility for yourself and noticing what you think of yourself and really caring for that relationship that you have with yourself? What helps there? All right. Take care. Bye.